right, race fans. Welcome to TurnLeft TV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans. Welcome to the tricky triangle. This is TurnLeft TV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. Sim Racing Mania heads to Pocono for race number 6 in that 2020 IndyCar GT Series season. It's an 80-lapper here at this triangle. They think it's an oval, but I got news for them. This is not an oval, baby. This is a triangle, and ain't one of those corners the same. Very fun track. Very, very good track for Indy cars. You can almost see it right here, live on TurnLeft TV. Well, it's a tricky triangle. It's Pocono Raceway. It's Sim Racing Mania. This season is heating up, boys and girls. All right, thank you so much for coming in to TurnLeft TV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and we are in the qualification session right now. Blue screen, green screen, whatever, I'm colorblind. There we go. Don't tease me, man. I'm colorblind, but I get things done. So right now in the qualification session for Pocono Raceway. Race number 6. Just about a minute or so left in the qualification session. We'll take a look at the track here. Like I said, ain't one of these turns the same, boys and girls. Located in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, 2.5-mile triangular track. Banking in turn 1 is 14 degrees, turn 2, 8 degrees, turn 3, 6 degrees. Turn 3 is by far the tightest turn. Turn 2 is really like Indy. And turn 1 is a beast in its own. Like everybody has finished their qualification attempt. Well, the schedule here, like I said, this is race number 6. Watkins Glen, they're going to run twice here because the first Watkins Glen didn't work out so well, so these guys are going to correct a few things here and run it again on July the 7th. But 80 laps here tonight at Pocono. Next week, Montreal, that city circuit there. Great city circuit. That's going to be an interesting one. This could really, really change the game, so to speak, in that season. Watkins Glen coming up after that. And, of course, Indianapolis, a full-length race, 200 laps there from IMS. That's home to me on July the 14th. So it looks like qualifications are finished, and we'll see if we can't get the session results. The Thomas Gold Lab, the top time, 40.333. Just behind him, Colin Madiak in second. Massimo Martin, how about that? The 14 car in third. Lorenzo Capellini in fourth. Michael Brooks qualifies in P5. Fabio Zerbato P6. Ricardo Morelli qualifies P7. Cliff Vandeven P8. Paul Holt is 9th. And Tom Donahoe is 10th. Richard Brooks qualifies in the 11th position. Dennis Vandeven is 12th. Andrew Holm 13th. David DePoli 14th. Giacomo Lapadula is 15th. Jordan Schwartz qualifies in the 16th position. Rory Martin starts in 17th. Lorenzo Finetto is going to start in the 18th position. Dan Richter will start in 19th. Tani Jansen will start in 20th. I'd like to thank you for coming in and checking out the YouTube channel here on TurnLeft TV. Always appreciate the folks coming in, and excited to do these races. Sim Racing Mania, man. These guys just knock it out of the park each time. That's a baseball reference, by the way. Those of you across the pond, that's a baseball reference. Knock it out of the park. Maybe cricket. How about that? But hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeft TV, you can click on the link up in the banner of the channel. You can share my videos with all your friends. Anybody you think might want to watch some good sim racing here on TurnLeft TV, please share my videos. Anywhere you can share YouTube videos, you can share my videos, and encourage you to do so. Please hit that thumbs up button. Definitely pay attention to that. And again, thank you for coming in here on TurnLeft TV. So we got about 7.5 minutes or so, just a little over 7.5 minutes left in the warm-up session, and we're going to get this bad boy going. Don't forget, coming up on Friday, we'll be back at it live for the second race of the season. High Octane Racing League's Bushwhackers Series. Xfinity Mod, 98 laps from Palm Springs. That is Homestead. And that will be a great race. Don't want to miss it. It'll be live right here on TurnLeft TV Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Man, look who's joining us in here. Got some royalty. Dino Faldetta is in here. Says he's rooting for Michael Brooks. Okay, all right. Well, Ben R. Silva. I'll tell you what, man, that guy is a master at driving just about anything he wants to drive. So great job, Ben R. Silva, last night in that DTM Series race. Apex Modding Team. Looks like he's rooting for Thomas. Nitro Toga coming in here as well, so good to see Nitro Toga. Make sure our side-by-side is working. I think it is. Looking pretty good there. Also, if you'd like to support TurnLeft TV, you can click on the link down in the description of this race and follow that to the Fanatec website. I'm an affiliate through those guys, and anything you happen to purchase, if you're going to make a buy through Fanatec, that credit will get a little commission off that, to be honest with you. So thanks to all those folks who have, and appreciate that. If you're in a mood for some Fanatec stuff, I've got the DD1 wheel. I started off with the V3 inverter pedals, and Man, I love them so much, and they decided to save up my money and buy the DD1 wheel. I bought a BMW GT2 wheel rim and have the shifter as well. Absolutely love the stuff. I tell you what, man, going from a G27 and then to a direct drive wheel was night and day, baby. So please appreciate you visiting that website, regardless of whether you're interested in purchasing something from them or not. You can follow me on Twitter at TurnLeftTV, Facebook at TurnLeftTV1. There are my Discord addresses right there. So click on those Discord or send me a message there if you want to say hi or get invited to the channels, whatever the case may be. Point standings coming into tonight. I think I got him. There we go. Michael Brooks, 149 points, sits on top. Cliff Vandeven, P2. Thomas Golab in third. Colin Madiak, fourth. Paul Holt, fifth. Rory Martin is sixth coming into tonight. Giacomo Lapadula, seventh. Fabio Zerbato is eighth. Lorenzo Capellini, ninth. Ricardo Morelli rounds out the top 10 in points coming into tonight after 5 races. About 2 minutes, well, almost 3 minutes left to go here in the warm-up session. On board here with Richard Brooks and that Zach Wild paint scheme. If you're interested in some comics, please check out ziacomics.com. Comic books, games, action figures, you name it. Comic related, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Your nerd headquarters, ziacomics.com. Tell them Heath sent you. Forever West Life in here as well. In the chat session, good to see Forever West Life in here. Got some big names in this chat session. Love that stuff. Love people coming out. Never thought in a million years when I started broadcasting these races, streaming them, that anybody would actually be watching other than the guys who drive in the races maybe afterwards. But it's really cool to see people come out and watch the streams live and so forth. So really, really enjoy that. And I am honored that you would be here. See Dan Richter out here. So we finish up the warm-up session. Get ready to kick this baby over to race. Pocono Raceway, 80 laps here tonight. And it is going to be a great one. Again, thank you so much for coming in. 20 drivers joining in tonight.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All right, here we go. Starting lineup for tonight, Thomas Golab starts on the pole. Colin Madiak is second, outside pole. Massimo Martin in P3. Lorenzo Cappellini starts in fourth. Michael Brooks starts in fifth. Fabio Zerbato sixth. Ricardo Morelli starts in seventh. Cliff Vandeven starts in the eighth position. Paul Holt starts in P9. Tom Donahue starts in 10th. Richard Brooks is 11th. Dennis Vandeven will start in the 12th position. Andrew Holm starts in 13th. David DePoli 14th. Giacomo Lapadula 15th. And Jordan Schwartz starts in 16th. Rory Martin starts in the 17th position. Lorenzo Finetto starts in 18th. Dan Richter is 19th. And in 20th is Tawny Jansen, starting from the back here today. All right, tighten those belts. About ready to get this thing kicked off here. Trick is here, get yourself a good, comfortable position here and set yourself up here for just tackling these turns, keeping yourself out of trouble. Be there at the end. That's the main thing. I should say main things because I gave you a list of things, right? Did you listen? Pick to win the race. I am going to pick Fabio Zerbato. That's my pick to win this race. He's starting in P6. I ain't got time to type it out. You're just going to have to trust me on that. Just go back and listen to the audio. I said it. Fabio Zerbato, P6, going to win this race. We'll see if a broken clock is right twice a day. So Thomas Golab is on the inside line here. Will lead the field to take the green flag. 80 laps here at Pocono, the tricky triangle. Pace car is in. Colin Madiak's going to start on the outside line. 20 drivers here. Get a good clean start. Oh, they've already got some shenanigans going on here in the back.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Already a melee in the back. Now, what happened there? Thomas Golab there. Good start. Colin Madiak tucks in the second position. Massimo Martin is third. Just do not know what happened there at the start. My heavens, man. Take a look and see what happened here. This is see what happened here. I don't know if somebody warped or what, but looks like they got together there on the inside line and people just bunched up. I don't know why. Somebody came to a stop almost. We're on board here with Giacomo Lapadula, and those guys just came to a stop. Giacomo gets into the back of them. Not a good way to get that started, that's for sure. Lorenzo Cappellini now up to the second position. Colin Madiak is third. Good battle there behind him, behind Cappellini. Michael Brooks now up to P3, looking out of the back of Cappellini's machine. at Michael Brooks. He's got some company there with Colin Maniac trying to get that spot back. Back here, look at Colin Maniac running in the 4th position. He's got a oh, look at that! He's got a TurnLeft TV logo. How about that, huh? Guess he's not a Michigan fan. Good battle there. Cliff Vandeven, Massimo Martin having a battle there. That's a 3-way battle, actually. Massimo Martin, Ricardo Morelli, Cliff Vandeven. Oh, man, that is tight. That is tight. My heavens, man. Ricardo Morelli here has to kind of catch his breath on board here with Ricardo Morelli. He's running in the 8th position. He has got some company. Dennis Vandeven trying to make a pass here. Look at this side-by-side racing there as Massimo Martin, Cliff Vandeven battling it out. Take a look at Michael Brooks here running in the 3rd position. And we got a battle for the race lead as Lorenzo Capellini trying to get around Thomas Golab now. Michael Brooks going to go to the outside line. Little defense there by Thomas Golab, and he's got to play defense on the top side and the bottom side as Michael Brooks is showing some muscle here right now. Look, Vandeven and Colin Maniac having a little bit of a battle. Cliff Vandeven wins out on that. Lorenzo Capellini and Michael Brooks battling it out too. Capellini in 2nd. Thomas Golab is our race leader as you see some great battling there. Capellini now taking the race lead. Thomas Golab here continuing to pressure him. Take a look at what happened to Thomas Golab here. So Capellini, I tell you what, something happened. I got a little bit off there on my replay. That Paul Holt, man, he's going down low here trying to get by Colin Maniac, and he does. Paul Holt up to the 5th position, now 4th. There is a lot going on in a hurry here. Oh, no, we got a huge wreck. Huge wreck. Oh, my God, half the field is in that one. Huge wreck here. Not sure what happened, but, man, that was a mess. I'm going to see information all over my screen on that one. So Thomas Golab is the race leader. Michael Brooks 2nd. Cliff Vandeven 3rd. Paul Holt shown in the 4th position. Capellini is on pit lane, so something's happened to him. What in the world happened there? That was a mess. Let's see what started off here. This is Tony Jansen. Oh, there was contact right there. It looked like who got into it there? Tony Jansen up in the air. My heavens, man. He is way up in the air. David DePoli gets caught in that. Tony Jansen on his lid. Tom Donahue here. There was a little contact. Then he gets into the wall. Tony Jansen in the wall as well. And then those guys, man, that is a mess. Such a good race up to that point. Tom Donahue, and there's going to be a little contact right there. Tony Jansen trying to slip through, and then he gets he's a little bit too much speed as somebody checking up ahead of him. And those guys getting into the wall. Andrew Holm trying to squeak through. Somebody's in the wall right there. David DePoli here looking out of the front of his machine, and that is a mess. Somebody's up in the air, oh my heavens, and he gets clipped. Almost made it through. Almost made it through for him. Rory Martin here trying to make it through as Tom Donahue trying to get through, and what a mess. What an absolute mess right there. You see somebody sideways trying to recover there, and I think Paul Holt trying to squeak through maybe. It might be Tony Jansen. Yeah, Tony Jansen trying to squeak through. And those guys in the wall, and he just gets upside down. Boy, that really got a lot of drivers there. A lot of drivers got caught up in that one. So Thomas Golab is a race leader. That was a shame, man. We were really having some pretty solid racing there. So full course yellow. Thomas Golab is the race leader. Michael Brooks in second. Cliff Vandeven shown in the third position. Paul Holt is fourth. Colin Madiak shown in the fifth position. Dennis Vandeven is sixth. Richard Brooks seventh. Tom Donahue is eighth. Lorenzo Finetto ninth. Giacomo Lapadula rounding out the top 10. That was a mess right there. An absolute mess.
Pit road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
So I'm wondering if there are any takers here as far as pit stops are concerned. And there's somebody faking. Tom Donahue, Jordan Schwartz, Massimo Martin coming down pit lane. Tony Jansen on pit lane. On board here with Thomas Golab, the race leader. Sorry, I got to say Golomb. Trained my brain to do that one. Don't forget, coming up on Friday, we will be at Palm Springs Speedway with the Bushwhacker Series. Little Xfinity action coming up on Friday, right here on TurnLeft TV. Race number 2 of the 2020 summer season, a 98-lap race from Palm Springs. Should be a great one. Do not want to miss that one. Be live right here on TurnLeft TV. On board there in that lower right frame with Michael Brooks. He's in P2 right now. 9 laps in, first caution flag. That was a big one. That was a huge caution flag. I'd say we had probably 10 cars caught up in that.
It'll be one to go this time by.
So it looks like 1 to go this time by. Take a look at Lorenzo Capellini running in the 19th position. Definitely got caught up in that that accident there. So now shown in 19th. So Thomas warming up his tires a little bit. the slipstream is so great here that you really have got to protect, constantly be aware of what's going on behind you, because before you know it, guys will be on top of you and challenging on the inside or outside, trying to get around. Single file restarts. Michael Brooks going to start in the second position. Cliff Vandeven will be third. Paul Holt fourth. Colin Madiak is fifth. Dennis Vandeven, Richard Brooks, Lorenzo Finetto, Giacomo Lapadula, Fabio Zerbato rounding out the top 10 here on this restart. Man, that took out a ton of cars. A lot of cars dealing with some damage here. As we come off turn 3, get ready to get this thing back on.
Green flag, go, go, go.
So a good start there for Thomas Golom. Side by side behind him for P2. Michael Brooks here, antsy, man, he's wanting to get by.
Yellow.
We got a yellow flag, another yellow flag. Oh, it's a big one back there. Well, there was something going on there, man. There's some guys up in the wall. I see some folks on the in the infield. Fabio Zerbato. No, that was my pick to win. Tony Jansen involved as well. See what caused that one. Not another yellow flag. Take a look here. This is Fabio Zerbato. Little tight racing right there. He gets in the grass, or Lapadula gets in the grass, and Fabio Zerbato on the outside line. Oh, man, and that just collects a Massimo Martin, Tom Donahue involved as well. Of course, Giacomo Lapadula. On here, Fabio Zerbato on board here with him as they see Lapadula. Oh, there was man, that was just tight. He did not have a lot of room there. Lapadula did not have a lot of room. Massimo Martin involved. Did not have a lot of room to deal with Giacomo coming back up on the track here. As Giacomo gets sort of forced down onto the white line, and then just not a lot of room for him. Donahue involved as well. Massimo Martin, of course. Watch this. He just nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. That's Massimo Martin's look. Go on board here. This is Massimo Martin on this restart. He gets hit right there on the restart. There was a little contact there, and then things are going to get ugly. So coming down this straight into the turn, and things get tight in a hurry. Those guys get together. Oh, man, he gets shoved as well. So man, that is just terrible luck for those guys. Just terrible luck there as more carnage. So second caution flag of the day early here too. So this thing, this track really not that hard. I mean, it's just going to have to probably be really, really patient, especially on cold tires. I would say be patient here before you start trying to really pick up a lot of places. When you're on cold tires, things can get away from you in a hurry. Tommy D showing up here. Tom Donahue showing up in the chat session, and he said he was about to start 10th. Where's he at now? He's in P13. Take a look at Tom here in 13th position. So here, 13 laps in, second caution flag. Hey, you want to see a good race? Go back and check out last night's DTM 2020 season race from Hockenheim Ring. Great little race there. IndyCar Brazil, NASCAR Total putting that on. So broadcast that race for them. 45-minute race from Hockenheim. One of those DTM cars. A lot of fun. And see Tom Donahue coming down pit lane. Fabio Zerbato on pit lane as well. Some of these camera angles, man, when these do these tracks on cameras, I have no idea what they're thinking. Those guys taking service there. They're going to be on the pit road a while, I believe. Just somebody coming out there. Tony Jansen coming off pit lane. See what I mean? We don't need to be facing that way. So Thomas Golom is the leader. Up front's where you want to be, I think, because in the middle of the pack, it looks like that is a dangerous, dangerous place to be. So keep yourself up front, keep yourself out of trouble. Hopefully we get a good, long green flag run here so we can see some green flag pit stops. That would be awesome. Thanks for coming out and checking out the YouTube channel here on TurnLeft TV. Greatly appreciate you being here. Somebody said, hey, how do I get one of these hats, man? Look at that. Well, you know, you got to have connections. Got to have connections. We'll see if I can get a little storefront going on. That'd be nice if there was some interest in guys and gals having some shirts and hats and so forth. You know, who knows? Never really gave it any thought. Just decided to get one for myself. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And then also, if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeft TV, would appreciate that. You can click on the link up in the banner of the channel and make a donation straight through PayPal. I think we're getting a one to go from what I'm hearing. Cliff Vandeven is in the second position now. Michael Brooks third. Paul Holt is in fourth. Colin Madiak in the fifth position. Dennis Vandeven, Richard Brooks. They need to put a initial there on that tower. Lorenzo Finetto, David DePoli, and Jordan Schwartz rounding out the top 10. So we're getting a one to go, and hopefully we get some good green flag laps under us before we start making some moves here. I get it. Generally, guys want to try to make moves early on. Pastor Capellini is, Lorenzo Maldonado. Oh, my God. Lorenzo Capellini is back. I don't know what all that means, but I guess that's an inside joke, but that's cool. Bonneman. That's a lot of M's and N's in a hurry right there. 3 N's, 2 M's, couple A's, and then a B, an O, and an E. It's cool. Rooting for Rory tonight. Okay, looks like the one to go. The pace car is, the lights are out on the pace car, so that means one thing. That means either the mod's broken. Actually, two things. Either the mod's broken or it's going in this time by. It looks like the mod's working correctly. So Thomas will lead the field to take the green flag here to start
Green
lap
flag, go,
16.
go, go.
Cliff Vanderven gets by there, Thomas Golom. So Cliff Vanderven showing some muscle and making that pass. Now a new race leader. Thomas Golom did not like that. He wants that spot back. Get out of the back. Oh, Thomas, do you have a TurnLeft TV logo on your car? I don't think so.
Yellow, yellow.
And we got a yellow flag. Another yellow flag, my heavens, guys. Cliff Vanderven sneaks around and gets that spot. Take a look at that pass. Setting him up there and goes to the low side. Thomas Golom gives him a lot of room. Realizes, hey, I'm going to let him go and we'll race him later. David DePoli apparently involved in an accident here. So go back here and look at what happened to David DePoli. Oh, Lorenzo Finetto is smacking the wall. My heavens, man, he hit the wall hard. He's down pit lane. David DePoli. Oh, David DePoli's on fire right there. David DePoli on fire. You better get out of that car. On fire, David DePoli. What in the world happened to him? We're on board here with him. Watch this. Now you're going to see Lorenzo Finetto take he hits the wall, goes left. I think David DePoli just followed him into the wall and then hits the wall. My heavens, man. He is destroyed. That car is just in shambles. Now Lorenzo Finetto, he just gets a little wide coming off this turn. Just misjudges and then, man, hard lick on the inside wall for him too. But he is in deep trouble as well. So he's going to have some. He's going to have a drive-through penalty. Definitely be some penalty there, but David DePoli on fire. Got to see that again. Always like to see that, but glad he's okay. Look at that. He's trying to recover there, and he smacks the wall, and then spinning back into the middle of the track. And he was hurting there. He's gonna be a little bit sore the next day, I think. So David DePoli having some trouble, and I would suggest to you he is retired his machine. So a little bit ugly right now. We're in our third caution, 18 laps in. Somebody's got to tell these guys there's a race going on right now. Supposed to be anyway. Don't forget, what we're bringing you right now is the Pocono race number 6 of the season of the IndyCar GT, Sim Racing Mania IndyCar GT Series season. 80 laps here tonight. This 2.5 mile triangular course. Sometimes they call this a tricky triangle, and before the Roval was built, they actually called this the Roval. I remember. So our Cliff Vanderven had gotten around Thomas Golom just before that caution flag flew. Michael Brooks is in the 3rd position. Paul Holt is 4th. Dennis Vanderven is up to the 5th position. Colin Madiak 6th. Lorenzo Finetto 7th. Richard Brooks 8th. Andrew Holm 9th. Giacomo Lapadula is 10th. Now the race schedule in the IndyCar GT Series season. Next week we'll be at Montreal, the street circuit there for a 60-minute race. Watkins Glen on July the 7th, and then finishing out the season at Indy for a 500-mile, 200-lap race, the Indy 500.
Pit road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
You might see some of these front guys coming down pit lane here. See if there are any takers. Does look like Thomas Golwam, I think, might be coming down pit lane. Actually, that looks like Lorenzo Fanatec. I recognize that car. Fanatec making that quick pit stop here, coming back out on track. Again, thank you for coming in, and don't forget to go down into the description of this race and click on that Help Me Out link. Follow that over to the Fanatec website and check those guys out. If you're in the market for some sim racing equipment, please give those guys a look. And if you decide to make a purchase, I would appreciate it if you would follow that link that I provided for you. You can follow me on Twitter at TurnLeftTV, Facebook TurnLeftTV1, and then there are my Discord handles there if you want to get a hold of me. Feel free to do so. Always like to see or hear from new people. Not new people, but people I haven't met before. Take a look at Michael Brooks here running in third, and I bet he is just beside himself right now with all these caution flags.
Pit road will be open this time.
Paul Holt shown in the 4th position. Dennis Van de Ven is in 5th.
It'll be 1 to go this time by.
1 to go this time by. Cliff Van de Ven, the race leader, will control this restart as Thomas Golwam is in 2nd. Well, who won the race last week at Daytona? That was Lorenzo Capellini. A big race win, and good job for him. Cliff Van de Ven finished in the 2nd position. Giacomo Lapadula 3rd. Ricardo Morelli, Paul Holt rounding out the top 5. So congratulations to Lorenzo Capellini on that Daytona road course victory. Can he get another one here tonight? Well, I don't know, man. Hopefully we're going to have some green flag laps here. We will see. Guys warming up their tires here before we go back green. We're not even halfway yet, are we? We're a quarter of the way in. We've had, I've lost count, 4 caution flags? At least 3, maybe 4 caution flags here so far. All right, the pace car is in. Here we go, back to green. Looking ahead at Cliff Van de Ven, Thomas Golwam's machine. Oh man, he gets loose. He gets loose and loses some positions there. He got on the gas, did not get some grip on those tires, and now they're 4 wide going into the turn. He has lost a ton of spots. Oh, contact right there. More contact. As our Colin Maniac here trying to push his way through. Rory Martin in this mix as well. Looks like Michael Brooks here has gotten ahead of that fray, but wow. Dan Richter here, he's in 16th, a lap down. He's trying to get back on that lead lap, trying to fight to get around these guys, get back on that lead lap. And no lucky dog rule in the IndyCar. Side by side with Colin Maniac is Dan Richter. Dan Richter going to take that position on the track. Again, still in the 16th position. See Rory Martin there tucking out here, trying to make a run on Colin Maniac. Rory Martin actually in 17th. Oh, there's contact there. Contact. As Rory Martin got into Colin Maniac. Colin Maniac here trying to hang on to that thing. Man, he is running in the he's running in the 6th position, and he has got a world of hurt with those guys getting into him, trying to get around so they can get up to the race leader. On board here with Colin Maniac. Running behind the 5th place car, Thomas Golem. Fabio Zerbato here running in the 9th position. Looking out of the front of his machine, Lorenzo Capellini, Massimo Martin, Richard Brooks. Oh, big checkup there. He had to check up, big checkup. And did a great job of checking up. Fabio Zerbato in 9th. Take a look at Massimo Martin running in the 7th position. We have a ton of action going on right now. Clean racing here so far, at least for a few laps. Giacomo Lapadula here trying to get around Jordan Schwartz. Andrew Holloman here as well. Tawny Jansen in this mix. That is a hornet's nest right there. So Giacomo Lapadula now running in the 11th position. And look at Massimo Martin. Massimo is in the 7th position. Tom Donahue and Fabio Zerbato having a battle there. Tom Donahue taking over the 8th position. Fabio back to 9th. Everybody clean here now so far, at least a few laps in on this restart. Cliff Vandeven is the race leader. Paul Holt is in 2nd. Dennis Vandeven has that machine up to the 3rd spot. Andrew Holm here running in the 10th position. Tawny Jansen just behind him in 11th. Get out of the back of his machine at Tawny Jansen. Giacomo Lapadula, Jordan Schwartz back there as well. That is 12th and 13th with those guys. Tawny Jansen running in the 11th position. So Andrew Holm right now P10. Lorenzo Capellini making a move here on Fabio Zerbato. Rory Martin gets into the wall. As Fabio Zerbato gets by, also Tom Donahue gets by. Lorenzo Capellini. Massimo Martin there as well. Lorenzo Capellini getting by Rory Martin. Take a look at this pass here of Tom Donahue on Lorenzo Finetto. Tom Donahue taking that position. That's the 14th spot. Lorenzo back to 15th. You see guys have sort of settled down now, I believe. Take a look at Thomas Golom running in the 5th position. Everybody sort of settled down for the moment. Jordan Schwartz here trying to make some moves on Tony Jansen. That's for the 11th spot, so Jordan Schwartz moves that car up to the 11th position. On board here with him, he's got some work to do to catch those guys in front of him. Andrew Holm would be next in line. Andrew running in the 10th position, so he's starting to work his way to those guys. Tony Jansen helping him out right now. As long as they team up there, get a little nose to tail, they should be able to run those guys down. Those guys look like they're getting pretty racy there. Richard Brooks, Andrew Holm, Rory Martin. Rory Martin there in the 18th position, but Andrew Holm here trying to make a move on Richard Brooks. On board here with Andrew Holm. He's running behind Rory Martin. Richard Brooks up on the outside line. See Richard Brooks tucking in. Backing off there. Jordan Schwartz up in the almost in the wall. Those guys getting together just a little bit there. Wheel-to-wheel contact. A little bit more contact between the two. Richard Brooks here trying to hang on as Tony Jansen goes by on the low side. Take a look at Tony Jansen here and Jordan Schwartz, Richard Brooks all racing together. On board here with Tony Jansen, looking ahead at Jordan Schwartz and Richard Brooks. Rory Martin up there, he's actually in the 18th position. So good battling going on right there. Tom Donahue trying to pick up the 13th position. He is closed in on Giacomo Lapadula, goes down to the bottom side and takes that spot. So Giacomo Lapadula back to the 14th position as Tom Donahue now in 13th. Tony Jansen there going down to the inside. They're 3 wide down the front stretch. Jordan Schwartz up on the outside line. That's a race for position as Tony Jansen going to pick up the 10th spot. Jordan Schwartz now back to 11th. Rory Martin in this mix. Richard Brooks back there as well. Richard Brooks here going to see if he can't make a pass. Get out of the back of Tony Jansen's machine. Ooh, Rory Martin there gets into the wall, and then Jordan Schwartz in the grass. We got a yellow flag. Yellow flag. Some good racing there going on, and yellow flag here on lap 33. Getting some word that maybe Rory Martin might have come around. Looks like he's got that car pointed in the right direction, shown in the 18th position. We'll see what happened to Rory Martin. See Tom Donahue and Rory Martin is up on the outside line, and they're 3 wide right there. Richard Brooks in this mix. Now Tom Donahue and Richard Brooks racing for position. Get out of the way, Pylon. And then contact right there. Oh, man, Richard Brooks hard into the wall. Rory Martin just got hit. A little bit earlier here now. Here's Jordan Schwartz in the grass. He goes down into the grass as now Tom Donahue trying to get through, and you see Rory Martin a little bit off the pace as he's trying to go through, maybe on the high side, backs off. So we're on board here with Tom Donahue, and he's trying to fit through two of those guys. Oh! Just wheel-to-wheel contact. That is a dangerous move to be making there. Jordan Schwartz here goes to the inside. He's down in the grass. He saves his machine. take a look. Here's Rory Martin, and he's going to get, he's thinking maybe they're going to go by him on both sides, and then Tom Donahue trying to squeeze through here to make that 3 wide, and I don't know if that's the right move. And then these guys getting together right there. There's a little contact with Rory Martin, pushed Tom Donahue into Richard Brooks, and then those guys hard into the wall. Richard Brooks just hit hard. On board here with him. Watch, oh man, that is Richard Brooks on board here with him. He just hit a ton. So caution flag. Cliff Vandeven, the race leader. Paul Holt second. Michael Brooks third. Dennis Vandeven is fourth. Thomas Golom is fifth. And a good little green flag run there. Just things got, man, I don't know if I would have taken that chance or trying to split those two cars. Little wheel-to-wheel contact and pushing that car into Richard Brooks, who was down on the bottom line, and that hooked him into Rory Martin. Hey, coming up on Friday, a little stock car action headed your way right here on Turn Left TV live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Bushwhackers Series High Octane Racing League is back. Race number 2 in that 2020 summer season, Palm Springs Speedway, 98 laps. This is a great track, man. One you really got to drive, and it makes for some great racing. Excited about this race coming up on Friday the 26th, right here on Turn Left TV. Whole range of guys coming down pit stop, making pit stops here. Looking at the trees. Here we go. This will be a good little battle here to watch off pit lane. Richard Brooks coming out off pit lane. So we're getting some words in the chat session there. Tommy D, you missed a few laps prior. I got cut. Oh, man. Nitro Toka. My God. Oh, come on now. Got kids watching. Fabio Zerbato second. Massimo Martin is the race leader here. So good to see Massimo up front. Man, this bad boy has been a wild one, hasn't it? This has been wild so far. My heavens, man. Pocono is a challenging track, and I just think really a lot of patience needs to be had here at this track. Concentrate on the track itself and keep yourself out of trouble and be there at the end. The close rates on these cars are just enormous, and again, not any one of these turns is the same. They're all different from one another. And I think my strategy every time I race Pocono is just to focus on the turns, focus on getting my car cleanly into and out of the turns, and saving my tires here. We're getting the 1 to go. And then be there at the end, maybe with that last 10 laps they're trying to make a run for the front. So Massimo Martin is the race leader. Fabio Zerbato is in second. Hey, I picked that guy to win. Tony Jansen is third. Giacomo Lapadula fourth. Lorenzo Finetto has that car in the 5th position. Take a look at Lorenzo Finetto in a 27 car. Don't forget, after this, we got Montreal Street Circuit, the city circuit there at 60-minute race coming up next week for race number 7 of the season. You do not want to miss it. Little road course action from Montreal. So Massimo Martin will lead the field to take the green flag here. "37 laps under our belts. Fabio Zerbato, P2. Tony Jansen, P3. Giacomo is in 4th. Lorenzo Finetto, 5th. Paul Holt, 6th. Thomas Golem, 7th. Cliff Vandeven now back to the 8th position. Colin Madiak, 9th. And Andrew Hullum rounding out the top 10. Pace car is in. Now, Dan Richter's where he wants to be. He's out front, so he's going to hope for a caution flag. So he stayed out.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Ooh, good run there for Fabio. He was on the gas and got around Massimo Martin, I believe. Actually, that's Massimo Martin. Got around Cappellini. Oh, no, man, we got some warping going on, at least from my perspective. So Dan Richter is shown in the 16th position, but nonetheless has that car on the point here. We got a yellow flag, and that is exactly what Dan Richter needed right there. He is on the tail end of the lead lap, and that is exactly what he wanted. Lorenzo Cappellini, 2nd. Dan Richter is going to get the wave around, I believe. And that's exactly what's happening for Dan Richter. He is getting to drive all the way around the track, I believe. No, not yet. Maybe he will. Massimo Martin shown as the leader. Cappellini also going to get a lap back. Those guys are going to get a drive around, I believe. What happened here on this caution flag? Paul Holt indicating he might have come around. This is Paul Holt. Oh man, looks like he might have gotten into the wall. Maybe he was trying to make a pass there and got into Giacomo, and those guys in the inside wall. So we're on board here with Paul Holt running behind Fabio Zerbato, and then I think he just switched lanes and didn't realize that Giacomo maybe hadn't cleared Giacomo Lapadula yet. And we'll take a look at this again. This is Paul Holt. He's running behind Fabio Zerbato, and he just changes lanes there and gets into Giacomo. Giacomo just had nowhere to go. We're on board here with Giacomo Lapadula, and he's going to see a whole lot of Paul Holt in a hurry right there. He just comes around. After the fact here, looks like on Cliff Vandeven's perspective. He's on board here with Fabio Zerbato looking out of the back of his machine, and you see, Paul Holt just had a run coming off the turn and didn't expect Giacomo to be down below him, and he makes contact. So Massimo Martin is the leader now. And Dan Richter now coming all the way around. Back on the lead lap, I believe, for Dan Richter. Good news for him. Man, that is a white interior right there, isn't it? Woo! Put my sunglasses on. So yellow flag. Take a look at our mid-race results here. Massimo Martin. Not quite mid-race, but pretty darn close. Massimo Martin, the leader. Tony Jansen, second. Fabio Zerbato is third. Thomas Golwam is fourth. Cliff Vandeven, fifth. Colin Madiak, sixth. Andrew Holm, seventh. Michael Brooks, eighth. Dennis Vandeven is ninth. Tom Donahue is 10th. Well, I think the place to be is up front here. Really looks like that being back in the pack is a little problematic here as guys get maybe a little bit aggressive. As Zerbato coming down pit lane, taking some service. Take a look at him as he comes back out on track here in the 15th position. Take a look at Dan Richter here. Dan Richter on pit lane. Again, Dan has at least gotten back on that lead lap. So looking pretty good here for him now as he takes some service. Get some damage repaired and get a full load of fuel, some tires on that machine, and he's going to be back on the, here on the lead lap and able to pick up some spots pretty easily. 17th position right now. Pretty extended pit stop here for him, though.
Pit road will be open this time.
Take a look at Cliff Vandeven running in the 4th position. About last week, man, Lorenzo Capellini's not had the best night here tonight, but he got a big win at Daytona Road Course. 5th race of the season, and this guy was the class of the field. Taking a big win, almost a 3-second victory there over Cliff Vandeven. Giacomo Lapadula 3rd, Ricardo Morelli 4th, Paul Holt in the 5th position last week. And we're getting a 1 to go this time by, so Lorenzo right now running in the 16th position. So Massimo Martin with Tony Jansen just behind him. 1-2. Looking out of the back of Massimo's machine. Thomas Golwam in the 3rd position. Cliff Vandeven is 4th. Colin Madiak is in the 5th position. Can you believe we are just past halfway? Dan Richter came out here now in the 17th position, but more importantly, on the lead lap. He got caught up in that mess there at the start where somebody got into the back of somebody else. And a big checkup there just before the green flag dropped and took out about 3 or 4 cars. But now back on the lead lap and back in the game. Pace car is in. See, the lights were still on in that. Did you see that?
Green flag, green flag.
All right, back to green. Oh, I don't know, man. Oh, come on. That wasn't a good move. That was not a good move right there. That was not a good move. I think the rule should be, this is from my perspective, I've been doing racing for 20 years. I think my rule would be you cannot pass before turn 1 unless somebody is clearly off the pace, and I don't think that was the case. Oh, come on now. Massimo Martin just got freight trained right there. Just got freight trained. Come on. Watch this. This is Massimo. He's got to control the start here. Now, somebody is going to the outside. This is Tony Jansen going to the outside. Thomas Golem going to the outside. And then Tony Jansen, I don't know what happened there, but he comes back over. He gets into Massimo Martin. Cliff Vandeman gets caught up in this. Come on. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. This is Cliff Vandeman on board here with him, and he just gets nowhere to go for him. And wow. See, Tony Jansen goes to the outside line. I think he breaks loose here and then comes sliding back into the race leader, Massimo. And then Cliff Vandeman has nowhere to go. He gets caught up in that. Watch this here. This is Andrew Holm's view as he sees all this carnage going on. Does a good job of just letting out the throttle, being cool. Colin Madiak. A little bit too early there. We'll take a look here. This is out of Colin Madiak's machine. That was just not a good start right there. Just not a good start. Andrew Holm, again, you know, he's just like, what in the world is going on? Hey, see you guys. Poor Massimo, man, on board here with him. He's just going to get freight trained, and he's just going to end up getting put into the wall. Watch this, just gets slammed into the wall. That is a darn shame. Absolute shame right there. Colin Madiak now in the 2nd position. Thomas Golem is the race leader. Tony Jansen 3rd. Andrew Holm's in the 4th position. Michael Brooks is 5th. I don't know, man. I think just wait until turn 1 before you make the passes. Probably a good policy. Looks like somebody had tried to go around on the bottom side and broke loose and got up into the race leader, Massimo Martin, and put him straight into the wall. "45 laps in, we have had somewhere on the order of about 6 or 7 caution flags. Take a look at Dan Richter here on the lower right frame. Dan in the 16th position has got to be thinking, what in the world is going on right now? So Dan does a lot of oval racing, mostly in stock cars, but he loves Indy cars as well, and shown now in the 16th position. Back on the lead lap for him. We are getting some guys coming down pit lane here. I think Tony Jansen coming down pit lane. Massimo Martin obviously on pit lane. He has got a ton of damage. Tony Jansen has a ton of damage. I think Lorenzo Finetto also has damage. So these guys all getting that stuff repaired. You really got a feel for Massimo because he had a car that was up front in the lead and just got taken out. I mean, it's just as simple as that. As Massimo on pit lane here, taking some pretty extended service now. Coming back out on track, showing in the 16th position. Got a couple guys there. It looks like they're chatting from their car. Thomas Golem chatting there. Tom Donahue chatting from his. Said they want to race. Do not drive and text. It's always a good policy.
Road will be open this time.
So we got just a little under half the race still to go.
It'll be 1 to go this time by.
Dennis Vandeven coming down pit lane here just with the 1 to go to see if he can get some tires and fuel. He says, hey, I'm going to start in the back here. Looks like a mess up front. So we are getting a 1 to go. Colin Madiak shown in the 2nd position. Man, oh man, let me take a sip of coffee here. This has been a little bit of an ugly race here, to be honest with you. Probably need to put a little bit of a little kicker in my coffee here to get things going. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Not live on TV. Colin Madiak in the 2nd position. Andrew Holm is in the 3rd spot. We haven't really talked too much about him, but got that car in P3 right now. Michael Brooks, P4. Tom Donahue in P5. These guys are going to keep wrecking. I'm going to have more filler material. You know, a couple of videos, some hula girls. All right, a pace car is in. Here we go. We're going to do it for real this time. We mean it this time. Thomas Golem will control the start.
Green flag, go, go, go.
So 3 wide there behind. Richard Brooks on the outside, and woo, man, they are still 3 wide. Take a look at Andrew Holm out of the front of his machine, actually out of the front of Tom Donahue's machine. Paul Holt now shown in the 8th position. Tom Donahue in 9th. Side-by-side racing there. Oh my God, we got another yellow flag. Capellini and Zerbato getting together. Finetto in there as well. What are you doing, taking out all the Italian guys here? The Italians are taking out each other here. Come on. So, wow, there was a little bit of a mischief back there in the back as Lorenzo Capellini, Fabio Zerbato involved. There's 3 wide here. Lorenzo Capellini in the middle. Dan Richter up high there. And then Dan Richter clears these guys, but a little wheel-to-wheel contact. Looks like right there, hook and wheels. Zerbato and Capellini coming around, and then somebody else looks like some checkup there as well. Rizzo Finetto trying to get through this little check up in front of him, but Vandeven comes around, and then Finetto gets into him. Just trying to avoid that. Again, watching out of the front of his machine. You see those guys get together right there. Capellini and Zerbato sliding across the track. Vandeven trying to miss this. That is Tony Jansen, I think, might be Tony Jansen. He just got squeezed. He was down low. He got squeezed, and he's going to get hit again. So watch this. He just gets squeezed coming into this. So Cliff Vandeven trying to inch through as Tony Jansen, oh man, into that inside wall as he got squeezed down to the bottom side. On board here, again, we are just going to see him turn left right here. He gets hooked. And then comes sliding across the track. You see that squeeze job right there. Tony Jansen sideways on the inside. Those guys hard into the wall. Neto just had nowhere to go. He was on the brakes and he ends up getting into a little bit into Tony Jansen. Those guys getting that straightened back up. This is Fabio Zerbato trying to get that thing straightened back up. But wow, man. I am going to, say a little prayer and say, let's just get 10 green flag laps in. Let's just shoot for that. We'll start small right now. We'll start small. Work our way up. Tony Jansen has retired his machine. David DiPoli out. Ricardo Morelli out. So we got 17 cars still in the race. Colin Mediak, take a look at him. He's running in the 2nd position. Michael Brooks is 3rd. Now 3rd in line is Rory Martin. He's actually shown in the 17th position.
Pit road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
Talking about comical, this race is a little comical here, but if you're interested in some comics on a serious note, please check out ZiaComics.com, your nerd headquarters. This guy's got all your needs here as far as comic-related stuff, games, action figures, comic books, you name it. ZiaComics.com, your nerd headquarters. Fabio on pit lane here taking some service. Lorenzo Capolini, Lorenzo Finetto on pit lane. Thomas Golom is the race leader. Colin Madiak shown in the second position. Michael Brooks is third. Andrew Holm is in the fourth position. Richard Brooks in P5. Let's see if these mid-race results thing shows. There you go. It's the current standings. Isn't necessarily mid-race, but there's our current top 10. How about that? Dan Richter up to the 10th position. Remember, he was a lap down. Went through a couple caution flags. Finally got a caution flag where he was out front. And now back on the lead lap. So in the 10th position. Pretty big deal for him. Thank you for coming out to the YouTube channel and checking out TurnLeft TV. Always appreciate folks coming out and checking TurnLeft TV out. Got a lot of playlists here. The Bushwhackers Xfinity Series did a test race, did race number 1 Daytona last week. And then also Sim Racing Mania IndyCar GT Series season. Scroll through and check that out. So some great racing there. And of course, I've got that DTM race I had broadcast last night. So I greatly appreciate you coming out and checking out TurnLeft TV. We are getting the one to go. And I'm your host, Heath Johnson, here at TurnLeft TV. Thank you for coming in. Thomas Golom is the race leader. Colin Madiak is in second. Michael Brooks, I keep doing that. I got to have an initial, man. When I'm looking at the tower, I got to have an initial. Something we need to send to the Studio 397 guys here. Give me a, let me have a first initial. Well, you know who's led the most laps tonight? The pace car. Pace car is going to get the bonus points for leading the most laps. Well, something drastic changes here in the back half of this race. So we are getting the one to go, as Thomas Golom will lead the field to take the green flag. These guys need to bunch it up here a little bit. Michael Brooks lagging back here somewhat. Tighten it up as the pace car goes in. See, the lights are on the pace car. Did you see that? Here we go, back to green.
Flag, go, go, go.
Giacomo Lapadula here making a pass here on Richard Brooks. Giacomo now in the 5th position. Take a look at Rory Martin. He is 4th in line here, but actually 17th in position as Michael Brooks on the inside here trying to get by him and close in on those leaders. Not able to make that pass. Rory Martin. He wants to get around those race leaders so he can get back on the lead lap. Cliff Vandeven on pit lane here, so a lot of damage for him maybe, and maybe he had a penalty, not sure, but he's come down pit lane here under green. Thomas Golom is the race leader. Colin Madiak is second. Michael Brooks third. Andrew Holm in the 4th position. We'll take a look at Andrew here running in 4th. Michael Brooks finally gets around Rory Martin. Sets his sights on the race leaders. We're on board here with our fourth place car, Andrew Holm. Giacomo Lapadula running in the fifth position. See, he and Paul Holt have a little bit of battle there. Paul Holt in sixth, just behind him. So good tight battle here. Looking out of the back of Giacomo's machine. He's running in fifth. That DHL sponsored machine, and Paul Holt goes to the outside, goes to the inside. Gonna try to pick up this spot. He's on the inside here of Lapadula, and he ends up taking that spot. Headed down into turn 3. Guess that'd be, turn 3. I know my turns. So Paul Holt now in the fifth position. Giacomo Lapadula is back in sixth. We'll take a look at the seventh place machine, Richard Brooks. That Zach Wild paint scheme. How about this? Dan Richter now up to the eighth position. He has got a Hornet's Nest behind him as Dennis Vandeven and Jordan Schwartz getting a little bit chippy. Jordan Schwartz here running in ninth. Fabio Zerbato, Lorenzo Finetto having a battle there. Fabio down to the inside, getting around Lorenzo Finetto. So Fabio Zerbato now up to 13th. Lorenzo Finetto back to 14th. Capolini here going to try to pull through as well. Looking out of the back of Fabio Zerbato's machine. Capolini and Zerbato battling it out. And Capolini gets by. Excuse me, that was Capolini and Finetto. Paul Holt, Andrew Holm here having a battle. This is for the fourth position. Paul Holt down on the inside line. He's going to get by Andrew Holm. So Paul Holt now moving forward up to the fourth position as Andrew now back to fifth. Richard Brooks here trying to make some moves. Catching up to Giacomo Lapadula. Richard Brooks here now making a pass here as Giacomo tucks in. Richard Brooks now in the sixth position. Giacomo now back to seventh. Tom Donahue, Dennis Vandeven battling for position. Tom Donahue going to the high side here to make that pass. Not a lot of room up there, but he is looking to make a pass here on the high side and does it. So Dennis Vandeven now back to the 11th position. Tom Donahue continuing to move forward here. He has now caught Jordan Schwartz. So Tom Donahue now making a pass here coming off turn 3. I think it looks like Dennis Vandeven going to go to the low side here and make that pass as well. So Jordan Schwartz, Dennis Vandeven having a good battle. Take a look at Jordan Schwartz and Dennis Vandeven. Dennis Vandeven goes up high, Jordan Schwartz down low, and he's going to try to take that spot back, and he does. Jordan Schwartz gets that spot back, so a good battle there. Way to stay with it. As Thomas Golem continuing to lead the field. Back to that race front as Colin Madiak is in second. Preston Hassel joining us in the chat. How about that, man? Challenging track. That is very, very true. Very, very true. These guys have had their hands full here. 60 laps in. We've had a few caution flags under our belt. Colin Madiak shown in the second position. As Michael Brooks running in third. Colin Madiak about 1.3 seconds off the race lead. Take a look at Michael Brooks running in the third position. And out in front of his machine, he has got some work to do. These guys single file now, pretty spread out. And you can tell these guys have had a lot of practice here. Take a look at Richard Brooks here. Richard Brooks looking to make a move. And out of the front of his machine at Paul Holt. So Paul Holt running in the 5th position. Richard Brooks running in 6th. Down the front stretch. Andrew Holm in this mix as well. Hear him feathering the throttle as he enters that turn. Giacomo Lapadula now and running in the 7th position. Dan Richter in 8th. Dan Richter all over the back of him right now. Tom Donahue in this mix as well. That is 7th, 8th, and 9th. Jordan Schwartz and Fabio Zerbato. What happened to Jordan Schwartz? Where'd he go? He blinked out. A little bit of connection issue there, it looked like, for Jordan Schwartz. Thomas got, look at that, Dan Richter now going down to the bottom side here, trying to get around Giacomo Lapadula here. Let's take a look at this earlier here as he's got a good run down the front stretch. Down on the bottom side as Lapadula in that yellow machine. Oh, there's contact right there, wheel-to-wheel contact. Dan Richter in that blue and white machine and Giacomo Lapadula in the yellow machine. Little contact between the two of those guys, and Dan Richter going to take that spot, looking out of the back of his machine. Giacomo going down to the bottom side here, trying to take it back. Good side-by-side racing. Oh, man, there's contact right there. Oh, no, they get into one another. No caution flag, but they get into one another. My heavens. What in the world went on there? Take a look at this. This is from the beginning. Dan Richter gets this spot. Contact right there. Maybe Giacomo took a little issue with that, but there's contact between Giacomo Lapadula and Dan Richter. Coming off the turn, Dan Richter clears Giacomo. Giacomo tucks in behind, gets a little bit of a run on him. Now goes down to the bottom side. We got a yellow flag here as we're watching this replay. And there's contact right there, and they're running into the wall. Oh, man, as Tom Donahue gets caught in that as well. And Giacomo Lapadula looks like he's off pace here. Jordan Schwartz also off pace. And then we got parts and pieces all over the track. Take a look and see what happened here. This is more action here as Dan Richter comes back. And then man, those guys come down there, get into Dan Richter. It looks like Lapadula. Oh, man, and Jordan Schwartz gets caught up in that as well. My heavens. On board here with Giacomo Lapadula. And he just comes down and gets into the Dan Richter's machine, and there are parts and pieces flying everywhere. Jordan Schwartz here on board here with him. Watch this. He's just got nowhere to go. Gets into the back of Dan Richter. And then he is going to get tagged as well. So big incident there. Cliff Vandeman gets caught up in this as well. He's trying to get through and then almost had it cleared. Dan Richter gets hit and gets into him. So parts and pieces flying everywhere. Cappellini involved, I believe, too, maybe. Cappellini down to the inside here trying to get through. It looks like he's made some contact, maybe lost the front wing of that car. So this is Lorenzo Cappellini. He's just trying to get through this. And there's just nowhere to go. He ends up clipping Jordan Schwartz on his way through. Just nothing but a log jam right there. How do you pick a spot? And as soon as you find a spot, it closes up, and he gets into Jordan Schwartz. Finetto in this as well. This is Finetto. He's going to take a hard hit. Runs over a couple pieces there, and then gets into Jordan Schwartz right there. So a little messy. Oh, Jordan Schwartz there coming through. I think he is, not sure what's going on with Jordan Schwartz, but says he's shown in first. Now, I'm not sure what's going on there, whether he's driven all the way around and he's past the pace car at some point, so he is going to have to slow down here and let these guys by. I'm sure he is not the race leader. So Thomas Golom is the race leader. You see Jordan Schwartz up there in the turn. Ed Palumbo joining us in here in the chat. How about that? How about that, Ed Palumbo? You know, Dan Richter had worked so hard to get himself back on the lead lap, and then was really starting to make some room. And boy, or make some moves, and then he gets caught up in a pretty nasty incident. So Jordan Schwartz, not the race leader, I don't think. So for some reason, Jordan Schwartz is ahead of the rest of these guys. Now, I would suggest to you he's probably going to get a black flag or something. We'll see if this messes up the rules plug-in. I hope it doesn't, but we'll see. See, coming down pit lane, he's got a ton of damage. Jordan Schwartz here, car's driving sideways for him. Thomas Golom is the race leader. Good to see you, Ed. Sure you got a big race tonight, big Tuesday race maybe? So we are getting some guys on pit lane. Now, a lot of those guys obviously involved in that accident. You see even some more shenanigans happening on the pits. So shenanigans, to say the least, as Massimo Martin on pit lane here taking service. 68 laps in. Well, we had something... we had a pretty good little run going on there, but things got ugly in a hurry. I was trying to squeak through that and getting caught up. A lot of smoke, a lot of parts, pieces, a lot of cars flying everywhere, maybe a few helmets. Speaking of Ed, hey, guess what? You got a race coming up on Friday, big dog. So Palm Springs Speedway, 98 laps, race number 2 of that 2020 season in the Bushwhacker Series. High Octane Racing League is back. Friday night will be race number 2 of the season. 98 laps from Palm Springs. What a great track. A lot of fun. You see some high line action, I think, on this track on Friday night. So I'm going to check it out at High Octane Racing League. No race tonight. Man, what are you doing? Just kind of chilling? Taking the dog for a walk? Cooking a good meal. Some good Italian food. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday as well. Should be a good one. I'm going to work on the car set tonight. Hopefully we'll get that finished. That way no more worrying about porting in cars. So Thomas Golom is the leader. Colin Madiak second. Michael Brooks third. Andrew Holm shown in the 4th position. Paul Holt is 5th. Yeah, definitely, Ed, check the setup on that server and make sure it's okay. If not, we can make some changes. Preston going to practice for that race too, so setup is ready to go there on the server. So guys, check that out. So Golom is the leader, Maniac second. Now Maniac's been kind of quiet here tonight. Here, not a lot of fireworks, but this race isn't over. We're on board here with Colin Maniac as the pace car heads into pit lane. See, the lights are still on. You see what I'm saying? Here we go, back to green.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Michael Brooks, Andrew Holm here battling for the third position. These guys are going to have to start getting everything they're going to get here. Actually, that was Rory Martin up there. Rory Martin has shown in the 14th position. Thomas Golwam is the leader, but Colin Maniac right there with him. Looking out of the back of Thomas's car at Colin. Will we stay green the rest of the way? Giacomo Lapadula and having a little battle here. Dennis Vandeven here trying to go down to the low side here, trying to make a move. We're looking out of the back of Giacomo Lapadula's machine at Dennis Vandeven. He does a great job just backing off. He said, no, it's not the right time to make that move. Good tight battle right there. We're winding down this race. Vandeven looking out of the front of his machine at Giacomo Lapadula. Getting nose to tail right now. Dennis Vandeven running in the 8th position. Giacomo running in 7th. Down the front stretch. Fabio Zerbeto shown in P9. Massimo Martin trying to make some moves here. Richard Brooks up on the high line in that white machine as Massimo picks up a spot now in the 10th position. Giacomo Lapadula here making some move on Tom Donahue down on the bottom side into turn 1. Giacomo going to take that spot in that DHL sponsor machine. Tom Donahue back to the 2nd position. It looks like Dennis Vandeven going to try to sneak through too, but he can't make that pass. Side by side, and Tom Donahue closes the door, slams the door on him as they enter the turn. Dan Richter here trying to make some moves after getting caught up in that accident. He's trying to pick up some spots here. Now picking up the 11th position is Richard Brooks now falling back. Lorenzo Capellini in this mix. Dennis Vandeven now, Tom Donahue battling as Dennis Vandeven going to try to get by Tom Donahue. He has that spot. Oh, a little bit of contact right there. Tom Donahue gets shoved up into the wall. So Tom Donahue in the wall as Dennis Vandeven gets by. Fabio Zerbeto, Massimo Martin, Dan Richter all going to get by Tom Donahue. He loses a ton of positions. Massimo Martin trying to pick up some spots here on lap 74. This is for the 8th position. He and Fabio Zerbeto battling it out. Massimo moves up to 8th. Fabio now back to 9th. Actually, Dan Richter is closing in on Fabio Zerbeto here. Fabio there. Oh, man, he's running out of tires as Dan Richter trying to make that pass. On board here with Dan Richter up on the outside as Lorenzo Capellini goes by. Now that was not for position. Lorenzo Capellini gets by here on the track. He's actually shown in the 15th position. Dennis Vandeven here trying to get by Giacomo Lapadula. He's got a run. He's got a head of steam here, and he does get by Giacomo. Giacomo tucks in. Now back to the 7th position. Looks like he is going to end up losing another position here. Giacomo Lapadula is having some trouble. He is in a hornet's nest right now. Looking out of the front of Dan Richter's machine, Giacomo Lapadula up on the high side, and he cannot win for losing right now as Lorenzo Capellini trying to get by him. Look at this. They're going to go 3 wide. Oh, my God. They're going to go 3 wide below the white line. Dan Richter might have got shoved down to that white line, and Lorenzo Capellini wisely, he gets into the wall there a little bit, wisely goes up to the high side, and Dan Richter now battling Giacomo Lapadula on the bottom side, picks up the 8th position. Wow, man, that was a heck of a sequence right there. So Dan Richter now moves. Oh, man, Paul Holt in the wall. Paul Holt makes some contact with the wall. Hard contact for Paul Holt. He has got some pretty significant damage, and he has got Massimo Martin all over the back of him. Paul Holt trying to hang on here as he made hard contact with the outside wall. Fabio Zerbato trying to get by Giacomo Lapadula up in the wall. Fabio Zerbato picks up a spot now up to the 9th position. We're winding it down here. Massimo Martin getting by Paul Holt. Thomas Golem's where he wants to be. He wants to be out front. He's got about almost a 3-second lead over Colin Madiak.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, yellow flag. A yellow flag here late in the race. Here on lap 78. And will we end this under caution? Jordan Schwartz. Looks like Jordan Schwartz. Renzo Finetto involved here. Jordan Schwartz in the wall, smacks the wall, down to the inside. Oh, man, that was a hard lick. And he comes back across the track. And Massimo Martin gets caught up in that. Massimo Martin on his lid. Actually, that was Lorenzo Finetto here. Watch this. On board here, he smacks the wall. Watch this. He's going to end up seeing a whole heck of a lot of Jordan Schwartz. And then on his lid, Michael Brooks coming around. I'm not sure what happened to Michael Brooks. Look, Vandeven and Brooks get together. Cliff Vandeven and Michael Brooks get together here late in the race. This is after the caution flag, I believe. Separate incident, but this, oh man, Michael Brooks backs it into the wall. So Thomas Golom. I have no idea what is going on there with those guys, but Thomas Golom is going to end up winning this race, I believe. Guys are trying to get caught back up and maybe just running out of room. So this has been a caution-filled race, to say the least. We got 6 cars out of the race. Cliff Vandeven, Jordan Schwartz, Lorenzo Finetto, Tony Jansen, David DePoli, and Ricardo Morelli out of the race. I don't know about you, but I am not pitting. So it looks like they are going to add a lap there. So there's no green-white checker, but it is when it goes green, they race around to the final, to the checkered flag. So I think that's the way that works here in Indy cars. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. There was a separate incident with these guys trying to get together. There was Cliff Vandeven and Andrew Holman, maybe a little bit of extracurricular little bit of extracurricular, and maybe even looks like Lorenzo Capellini. Oh man, Lorenzo Capellini was trying to get through and got into Andrew Holm, I believe. Man, that was a hard lick. What the heck? Look at this. He's following Dan Richter, and he goes to the outside. Dan Richter slows down. He goes to the outside and doesn't realize, uh-oh, look at that. There's a car there. And then Lapadula has the view of this, I believe. You want to go on board here with him. Actually, this is oh. We're in slow-mo. Not going to work. Tried something sneaky.
Pit road will be open this time.
Not going to pit, I would imagine, huh? Oh, boy, somebody might be... Oh, Colin Madiak here. He almost had me faked out, didn't he? Colin Madiak almost had me faked out. The question is, does he have anything for Thomas here on this restart? On board here with Thomas Golwam. Sorry. Michael Brooks shown in third. Andrew Holm in fourth. Dennis Vandeven shown in the fifth position. What a tough break for Cliff Vandeven, by the way. I mean, he was having such a good race. Now 15th and out of the race. Lorenzo Capellini finishing up his pit stop here, coming back out on track. Well, it's been an interesting race, that's for sure. A lot of cautions, but crashes have been kind of neat, to be honest with you. But hey, thanks so much for coming in and to watch a race here on TurnLeftTV. If you would, I would appreciate you going down to the link in the description of this race and following that to the Fanatec website, giving those guys a look. And if you decide to buy something, please use that link. I implore you to do that. But we really appreciate you coming out and checking out TurnLeftTV. If you'd like to get in touch with me, there are my Discord addresses there, my handles. You can give me a shout through Discord. But I am honored that you would come out and watch races here on TurnLeftTV. Thank you so much for coming in, and hopefully we had a good finish here for you. Right now, still 14 guys left in the race, and I would bet you we're going to get the one to go this time, Pi.
It'll be one to go this time, Pi.
Can't we have a time limit? No. One to go, and see, the lights are out on the pace car now. Well, hey, coming up next week, we got Montreal headed your way, the street circuit. 60-minute race on June the 30th in Watkins Glen coming up after that. July the 7th, Indy finishing out the season on July the 14th, 200-lap race there. Hopefully, we won't have a bunch of caution flags. Should be a great one, though. But Indy is one of those races where it can get out of hand in a hurry, so hopefully not. All right, well, when we take the green flag, we got one lap. We'll make it happen here, so who's going to take home the victory? Somebody's going to have to get a good start to get around Thomas Golwam. Michael Brooks in third. Andrew Holm in the fourth position. Dennis Vandeven shown in fifth. All right, pace car is in. Here we go. Final sprint to the finish.
Green flag, go, go,
Thomas
go.
Golem gets a good start there. Colin Maniac just behind him. So one lap to take care of business here, and this is going to get wild. 4 wide, 5 wide there. Thomas Golem, that's exactly what he wants to see out of the back of his car. These guys trying to get everything they can get. Three wide here still for the second position. Oh, contact! Oh, no! Couple guys in the wall. Oh, ton of guys in the wall. Thomas Golem is in a position where he wants to be and is going to end up winning this race. As those guys pile up behind him, Thomas Golem wins this race. So congratulations to him. Dennis Vandeven finishes in the second position. We had a mess back there behind. Dan Richter gets caught up. He's trying to get through this. And I don't know, man. We had, there's a car flipping over in front of him. There was a mess right there. So, it looks like Thomas Golem is the winner as Dennis Vandeven finishes in second. Colin Maniac finishes in third. Let's see if we can't show you the session results. Dennis Vandeven second, Colin Maniac third. Paul Holt finishes in the fourth position. Michael Brooks fifth. Massimo Martin finishes in sixth. Tom Donahue finishes seventh. Dan Richter battles back for an eighth place finish. Richard Brooks finishes in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is Fabio Zerbeto. Giacomo Lapadula finishes in the 11th position. Andrew Holm 12th. Rory Martin finishes in 13th. Lorenzo Capolini is 14th. Cliff Vandeven 15th. Jordan Schwartz finishes in the 16th position. Lorenzo Finetto 17th. Tony Jansen finishes 18th. David DePoli 19th. And Ricardo Morelli finishes in the 20th position. We'll see if we can't get the screenshots up here and get things going on there. That was a crazy, crazy race. So I would suggest to you this is going to be a little bit of a lively chat here. So we'll get these guys ready for the chat. Let them kind of get their drink of champagne, whatever they got to do. All right. Well, hey, we finally got hooked up here and we're ready to go. So, congratulations, Thomas, on a great race win.
Well, at least in this series, I'm very, very happy. But I have to say that it was a very tough race, also for me. Many happened during the race. So I think we should talk about it a little bit, maybe later. But yeah, I'm very happy with my result. I'm happy with all guys in top 5. So I would say that was the hardest race ever for me in IndyCar, and maybe in other series in Sim Racing Mania, due to many factors. It was very long, and I had to be very cautious about others on track. As we know, this track is very difficult. There was many incidents, I think too many. But yeah, thank you, Heath. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, it really didn't get you didn't get those long green flag runs. I think about the most you had was about 10 or 15 laps. And that had to weigh on your mind there a little bit as you're riding around under caution and really just looking at short stints versus, setting your car up for a long green flag run.
Yes, it was very short stints. To be honest, I wasn't happy with, for example, last Focus Yellow, as I had about 5 seconds lead over Colin, and then 2 laps before finish. There was another Focus Yellow, which caused me to be a little bit nervous at the last lap. Hello. I don't know who joined, but hello. And yeah, I think the tire management was very important because as I noticed, probably Colin will say something about it. On that last let's call it longer stint, first 3 laps behind me, Colin was very fast, and he could keep with me easily. And then he just fell off. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he just overheat his tires. So I think that was very important factor. Also, just staying out of the troubles of the track. On the track, we saw that Cliff crashed with Massimo and Tony on one of the restarts. I think what happened there was Massimo just started way too early. I think he had warning for starting too early, so he lifted off. Then Tony Jansen just lost the control of his car a little bit, crashed into Massimo, and Massimo crashed into Cliff. So I think that's what happened there. Also, my race in the first half of the race was pretty good until one restart when Cliff was in front of me. I was in second place. And then Cliff started very late after green flag. About 1 second after green flag, so I had to avoid him. I lost control of my car. I turned into Michael a little bit, and then I lost about 6 places. Luckily, I gained position in pit lane due to fast pit stop and good work in pit lane. So I could win the race because of that.
Well, Colin, talk a little bit about how your race went. You were up front pretty much all night long, and I had to think that maybe you might be a little bit disappointed with the finish there, considering where you ran for the most part.
Yeah, I had some just initial problems with setup in the beginning of the race, which dropped me back, and then eventually, just kind of after full course yellow and the next, Rory kept hitting me and nearly spinning me. So I had tons of damage on my car. I mean, not like awful, but it was you couldn't go flat through any turn. So it really kind of hindered me once my tire started going off at the end. So it just kind of, I don't know, it was a mediocre race with a good finish.
Well, I gotta wonder, as you were running behind Thomas there, you were pretty much around him all night long. Did you have a plan to try to overtake him early? Because it seemed like later in the runs, or the short stints that you had, that he was able to open up a fairly decent gap.
My plan was to just get a good run on him, but I had one good run, but I decided to back out of it just to save Thomas's race and my own. It was not going to be worth the result, so I decided to back out of most of my passes on Thomas.
Yeah, I remember that. It was 10-2, yeah? Yeah. Thank you for that. I was very scared about that. I went on the inside, and Colin was on the outside. I saw that he lifted off a little bit, so then I noticed that he just wanted to finish race safely, and I think that was a key to good result today.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people needed.
Definitely.
I have to really talk to Dan Richter here. First race back after a while, and boy, you got yourself unfortunately involved in an accident and had to. You were not on the lead lap, but fought so hard to get back on the lead lap, and then had a pretty significant contact there later in the race. Talk about how your race went here at Pocono.
Yeah, once I was able to get back on the lead lap, I was having a lot of fun because my car was really good. I could make a lot of moves and get around people, but just having to fight your way back up from, I think, like 17th. This is a tough track to make passes. And there's a few people I'm not too happy with, but that's okay.
We got Michael Brooks in here as well. You were running up front there early on, really for the first half of that race, and then now probably not the finish that you wanted. To talk about your race as well.
Hi, Heath. Well, I had a bad qualifying. I made a mistake in every qualifying run I did, and eventually I got battled up to third place for one of the first of infinite full course cautions. It felt like. Then what happened? Then I think what was it? Then I think I was battling with Clipper. Clipper's a lap down. Then after the full course yellow had gone, he was still fighting me for some reason. He was still like battling me even though the full course caution had gone. And then he tried to. Then I started slowing down because Colin was near the safety car, so we were both slowing down. He tried to go into between a gap between me and Colin that wasn't there, and he spun me. So I was bloody angry at that. I don't know. And yeah, that kind of ruined my race from then. Then on the final lap, I got hit into turn 2. I don't know what the hell happened, but I ended up finishing 5th. But I was quite annoyed because the second last full course caution, I was just getting onto the back of Colin after a good long stint. I think it was the second last anyway. But yeah, I'm not happy to say the least. I could have said a lot worse, put it that way.
Tom Donahue in here as well. You had a pretty eventful race, finishing in the 7th position as I'm looking at the standings there. Talk about your race.
Yeah, I mean, overall, finishing 7th isn't too bad. Qualifying 9th, 10th rather. My goal in every race is just finish top 10 or finish above where I start. But the first incident that we had, it was completely my fault. I mentioned that to chat afterwards, and I mentioned that to everybody else. I heard clear left on my spotter, and I go down to the left, and right at the last second, car left. So that was completely my fault. But after that, I got wrapped up in another couple incidents, which I'm sure we all saw. And I got chopped at one point by Rory as well, just since I heard his name come up. Got chopped by him going into turn 1. Had a pretty sweet Tokyo drift through the entirety of turn 1. Managed to make it out the next side alive. But then, kind of continued around there for the rest of it. And then, obviously, a couple laps later, I tried to squeeze into the gap that wasn't there. Once again, another probably bonehead move on my part, but you live and you learn. And finishing 7th isn't terrible. It's definitely much better than I thought it would.
Well, it seems like the closing rate's so fast on these cars. By the time you decide you're going to make a move and maybe go down to the bottom side, there's a car already there. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely. I was coming up out of turn 3, if that same incident, and I knew that I forgot who the other driver was, unfortunately. But you know, I was coming up on Rory, and I saw, you know, okay, I have the spot on the right. I can attempt to go to the outside, you know, right by the spotter, not the spotter, by the start-finish line. And then I saw him move to the right. I was like, all right, I can't go there now. I have to go left, not realizing there was a third car that was, I guess, slightly ahead by that point. Saw him, so I tried to move back to the center again. And then, you know, aerodynamics wins, and, you know, you get 3 cars and spot for 2, and everybody kind of pulls together, and that's what happened.
Fabio Zerbato joining us in here as well. As I picked you to win this race, Fabio.
Let me say, I have no words. I'm sorry for that, guys, because I was involved in every incident, and the only reason was because no one understood that we cannot pass in the inside of this track, and it's not very difficult to understand here. But we saw the very bad race today. So sorry, I have no things to say. Sorry.
No problem. Richard Brooks in here as well. Richard, you really battled and got that car up front, and then just sort of late race stuff, you know, cost you a few positions. But talk about your race tonight.
Hi, Heath. Yeah, I was happy to finish, to be honest. I wasn't looking forward to the race because even in practice I was struggling with my right front, and that's what happened in the race. If I didn't get a good start, I would push too hard, heat my tyres up, and then I would just get mugged. And I think you could see that. So I was happy to finish.
Well, we look on to next week. You have, as I recall, Montreal street circuit coming up. Any feelings on the track coming up?
I'm going to do terrible. I know that.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I really like this track. So I hope I will be good there. But the most important is to finish this race because it's street circuit. So walls are very close. Every mistake will be punished there. So I hope to finish this race first of all.
Colin likes the sausages. Colin likes the sausages.
The curbs and bumps hurt.
They're sausages.
I hurt my thumb.
Well,
Heath, I send you current standings if you're interested.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Well, you know, there's not a lot of room to move on these road courses that are street circuits, and with the cars being as fragile as they are, I guess the standard operating procedure there would be to keep your car between the lines.
Not really. to be honest, on road course, if you have at least, let's say it, 2 evenings of practice or something like that, you can be pretty fast and solid during the race. The most important is to have stable car and do not make any stupid mistake on the exit of slow turns, because slow turns are the worst thing that this car can do. On exit.
Patience.
Yeah, patience.
Please.
Is of course very, very important, but exiting of slow corners is very hard on road courses.
Well, looking at the point standings that you just sent me, well, hang on one second. Wrong page. So looks like Thomas, you have the race. You have the points lead. Actually tied with Michael Brooks, 179 points. How about that? That's pre-penalty, right? We're going to throw a penalty on you, Thomas. 3 points or so.
I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah,
who
Thomas, I
assesses those
I saw it.
penalties?
Just by his rear right suspension, I saw it.
All right. Colin, you're in third, 10 points back. Paul Holt shown fourth. Cliff Vandeven is fifth. Giacomo, Rory, Fabio, Lorenzo, and Dennis rounding out the top 10 here coming into the next race. But it looks like Michael Brooks and Thomas battling it out there for the points lead.
Yeah, but the Colin is very close, and also we know that Cliff will be very fast on road courses. So I think the goal for next two races to road courses will be to be as close to Cliff as is possible, and then on the Indy be as on every oval at least equally fast as Cliff, and then it's possible to win with him. I think Colin and Michael has the same plan as me, so I think it will be very, very interesting end of the series.
Well, I'm just gonna, because I know Thomas and Colin are faster than me on road courses. I've just got to try and just be safe and not crash. That's what I've been doing at every road course so far. They've been faster than me every race on the road courses, but I've just been trying to not crash, and that's been my strat. So I'm just gonna keep doing that and hope it works out.
Well, good luck to you guys next race, and fortunately we got this one behind us now. We can just look forward, and we got 3 races to go, a couple road courses, and then the Indy 500. And good
Indy
luck.
Indy 500, baby. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, when you guys
Richard's
come to town,
crash.
You guys come to town, you can crash at my place.
I need a passport first.
Oh, sorry. It's probably that legal trouble you were in. You were not going to get a passport. All right, guys. You take it easy and have a good week. And thanks so much.
See you later.
Thanks, Heath.
See you guys.
All right, that's the crew joining us up here in the broadcast booth. Very interesting race, and I think the guys are all happy that things are behind them in this race. Is kind of challenging, to say the least, as that one seemed to be. But we look on. We look at Montreal coming up next week. No full course yellows on that one. We'll put that out there right now. But so excited for the road course coming up next week. Well, coming up on Friday, some more oval action. Palm Springs Speedway in the stock cars, the Xfinity cars, with the High Octane Racing League Bushwhackers Series. 98 laps from Palm Springs. That's Homestead for all you folks that are not sure. Race number 2 in the 2020 summer season. High Octane Racing League is back. It's a standalone league now, and very excited about this. A lot of guys have been working overtime to get things rolling. Sort of an unexpected turn of events have sort of led us to now doing this as a standalone league. Very excited about this. But the High Octane Racing League Bushwhackers Series, Friday night racing at its best. Palm Springs Speedway, 98 laps coming up this Friday. Do not want to miss it. It'll be live right here on TurnLeft TV. Thank you so much for coming in to watching TurnLeft TV on the YouTube channel. Always appreciate people coming in. You can check out all the playlists and so forth that we got going on. Thanks to all those people who subscribe. I'm getting close to 500, man. I am getting close. Share these with your friends. Tell your friends to subscribe. You know, maybe even make a second account, for heaven's sake, and subscribe to the channel. But no, thank you so much for coming in, and appreciate all the support here at TurnLeft TV. If you're interested in some comics, make sure you visit ziacomics.com, your nerd headquarters. Everything comic related. Not just comic books, but games, action figures, you name it. ziacomics.com. Well, congratulations to Thomas Golab on a well-fought, well-played battle there, and being able to hold off for the race victory. That was a slugfest, to be honest with you. Very, very intense racing at times, but also a lot of caution flags. But he was able to come out on top here in a big race win, and now tied for the points lead. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here on TurnLeft TV. Thanks so much for joining us. And I'm going to go take the dog for a walk and, well, get back to work. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, I'm out of here.